What's up, everybody? This is Casey Washak with the Rolling for Revenue podcast, your jiu-jitsu business podcast. So, guys, if you're looking to level up your school, create a greater impact in your area, or create the lifestyle you want to live through jiu-jitsu, then this is the podcast for you. Okay, guys, if this is your first time listening, buckle up because we're about to kick off a brand new 7-part series today. 7 habits, 7 episodes of one mission from taking you from a struggling academy to a winning one. Here's something I want you to sit with for a second. In this industry, schools don't fail because the owner doesn't care. They fail because the owner runs everything off caring, everything off emotion, off opinion, off whatever they feel like doing on a Tuesday, but not off habits, not off facts, not off systems, and not off structure. All right. And I've had a front row seat to thousands of these academies over the last 20 years between fitness and martial arts, all of it. I've seen the P&Ls. I've seen the schedules. I've seen the rosters of big academies, small academies, kid-heavy programs, adult-only competition teams, MMA gyms, running jiu-jitsu on the side, all of it. And the schools that win share similar habits. All right. The schools that lose also share similar habits, just different ones. So over the course of this series, guys, we're going to break down those different habits. Okay. One per episode. And I want to ask you something before we even start. As you listen to this, don't tell yourself this won't work in your town. Your students are different. Don't tell me your market is different. I've heard it all, and it's not. Listen to what you're hearing, install it, or tweak it for your specific niche, but it's all been proven. All right, and the number one habit I want to start with is winning schools master the main thing. No matter what your model looks like, kids program, heavy, adult jiu-jitsu, no-gi, MMA, self-defense, Krav Maga, there's always going to be what we call the Pareto principle. It's 80% of your revenue is coming from 20%, or like the one thing, the one program, the one offer, the one type of client. And the schools that are crushing it know exactly what this is. They know what their one thing is, and they double down on it. They stick by it. They protect it like it's the only thing between them and the doors closing. And honestly, it is. We don't want to be the cheesecake factory of jiu-jitsu. I know of academies that, like, their one thing is women's self-defense. That's it. That's the niche. They know exactly who they're talking to, and they know exactly how to market to that individual. They want women to feel safer walking to their cars at night, and they've built the entire experience around that. The curriculum, the marketing, the language, the schedule, the staff training, all of it points to one outcome. Now, is that the purest expression of jiu-jitsu? Probably not. A black belt purist might walk in and have a ton of opinions on how they do things. But here's what doesn't have opinions: the bank account, the niche of students who want that thing. And the market will tell you if they want it or not. And if they do, make sure what you're doing is the best in class. Now, compare this to what I see most jiu-jitsu schools doing, and where they try to be everything for everybody. Kids programs, adult fundamentals, yoga, advanced classes, no-gi, open mat, women's only, competition team, at-risk youth programs, strength training, like lunchtime like all this stuff, all of it. And it becomes the cheesecake factory for jiu-jitsu. The menu's too big, and what ends up happening is nothing is the best version of itself. So you have a bunch of subpar offerings, and a lot of times we're not even trying to make it world class. We're just trying to figure out how to get more people in the gym. And we heard 5 people might want yoga, so then we offer a yoga class. Start throwing ads towards that. Meanwhile, the actual main thing, the jiu-jitsu, hasn't been touched in like 3 years. So here's a question I want you to sit with. So if I walked into your academy tomorrow as a brand new white belt, could I find 7 things that you could do better? Not like 7 disasters, just 7 small things. So from like the greeting I got at the front desk, the way someone ends a trial and then comes into a membership, whether the coach remembers my name or not on day 2, whether the warm-ups are just to kill time for the coach, or if it's actually benefiting us and benefiting the techniques we're about to learn. And let's say, does someone follow up with me if I'm a new student? I can find these things and I can find them easy. And so could you if you were honest about it. Most of us aren't trying to fix that stuff. We're just chasing the next marketing promise. And I get it. Marketing's sexy. Improving your front desk script and your welcome is not. But these are the sorts of things that move the needle. Another thing I want to talk about is most jiu-jitsu schools are run entirely on referrals, word of mouth. It's the number one way of bringing people in is by friends bringing other friends. That's awesome. That means people love you, but it's also a trap because you're not actually competing in your market. And the only people who are learning about you are the people who know people who are coming to you. And the markets are changing really fast. 10 years ago in most towns, there was like one jiu-jitsu school and that was it. And so they didn't have to be good at marketing and stuff. It's just they opened their doors and people who wanted jiu-jitsu, that was the only place they can choose. Well, today there's like 3 schools on every block. In 2 years, there'll be 5. If your name doesn't come up automatically when someone in your town asks, hey, where's the best place for me to train? Then that's a problem you have to fix first. All right. You have to compete in the market because right now, the only people who know about you are the people who are training with you and what they're telling people. Another thing I want to talk about is here's what happens when an academy isn't making enough money. The owner panics. And in that panic, they start adding stuff. Let's say kickboxing classes. They had yoga on Saturdays and Sundays. They're doing supplements. They're bringing a nutrition guy. They're running a kids' summer camp. Let's add a women's self-defense workshop on Saturdays. Let's do birthday parties. They're just throwing a bunch of stuff against the wall because they're trying to make it. I've been there. I know what that's like. But before you know it, it dilutes the brand and the mats are chaotic and the schedule is full, but the bank account is the same or even less because none of these things are generating a lot of revenue. And meanwhile, the core thing, the jiu-jitsu is flat. So I lived in the fitness world and we had a boot camp business for a while. All right. Athletes training, seniors training, stretch programs. We did everything and we were really profitable on none of it. So the day we sat down and looked at our numbers, honestly, and we realized that like 90% of our revenue was coming from one program, we decided to focus on that program and slowly cut everything else out. And then the business actually grew. The same thing applies for your jiu-jitsu schools. Look at the numbers. Look at the program that's actually paying the bills. Then ask yourself, am I making that program the absolute best version of itself? Or am I distracting myself with shiny objects and side hustles? Here's another thing I want to talk to you about mastering the main thing is your methodology, your curriculum, your way of teaching. I see 2 extremes in most schools. On one end, you got the owner who's personally writing every lesson plan, customizing every class from 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. and burning out in doing so. And then on the other end, it's the Wild West where every coach can do what they want to do and nobody's overseeing that. So what gets taught at 5 a.m. looks extremely different than what's taught at noon and then 6:30 p.m. There's no consistency. It confuses the students. And then you have your white belts don't know what to follow because everyone's doing things differently. Your blue belts are doing it their own way, and nobody knows what to do. Neither of these things are going to scale. The answer is the brand. The business controls the methodology from the top down. There has to be a philosophy and a curriculum that the academy owns, not an individual coach. So whether you build that yourself, license it from another organization, or you have a head instructor who's responsible for it and owning it, that decision has to be made and then locked down. So before you hand it off to a coach, if you do, they still need to write everything down. It can't live in their head, because what happens is over the lifetime of having a team, people are going to leave. And if that coach leaves, your curriculum can't walk out the door. Okay, guys, let me give you some homework before we wrap this up. This week, I want you to walk your floor, and I want you to really have a critical eye. Walk it like you're a stranger. It's your first time in. Look at your mats. When was the last time they got a deep cleaning? How's the tape look? Are the edges peeling? Look at the front desk area. Look at the entrance to the gym. Look at the walls, the paint, the scuff marks, the seating area, the changing rooms, the bathrooms. Look at each one of these things. And then sit and watch a class. Don't teach it, just watch it. Watch it the way a parent of a brand new student would watch. Is the instructor on time? Are they cueing techniques consistently? Are they checking on the new people? Are they making touch points with everybody on the mat? Are they ending the class on time? If anything you see doesn't measure up, this is your opportunity to make changes. So guys, this is the number one habit. Winning schools master the main thing. They know what it is. They protect it. They make it the best in class. They don't let shiny objects pull them off path. And they build everything they do around that main thing. Guys, we got 6 more of these habits coming up. And I'm telling you, by the time we're done, you're going to have a totally different lens for how I want you to look at your academy. So guys, if you got something out of this, like, comment, share, and make sure you to go to rollingforrevenue.com. Get the Rolling for Revenue book. It's free. Just pay for the shipping. And until next time, I'll see you on the Mets.